Good morning, everybody. I got my coffee. I got my vape. Let's talk a little. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm going to drink me some coffee. I guess I could have done that before I started it. Well, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things with this coffee with Phil. I hopefully will have this out Thursday morning. If it is out Thursday morning, then cheers. If not, I'll get it. With my new norm that I'm settling into with everything, part of it that I'm realizing is that I really have to actually schedule things. Isn't that crazy? I am somebody who I do well when I plan things. I have a hard time writing down things on schedule. I have a hard time sticking to a schedule. I really do. Unless it's like meetings with other people, then I feel more obligated to be respectful of their time and their schedule than I do my own. So yeah, I tend to wing things, and I am definitely the squirrel. I'm definitely the shiny quarter guy. Absolutely. So I am trying to find a way to schedule this coffee with Phil. Right now, I have to film it a day before, so that I like to put things out at 2 o'clock in the morning, as I said on the last video. So, I have to, what I was doing is I was filming these when the inspiration hit me, and that's not so easy to do when you have to actually sit down and schedule something. I'm sure none of you have ever had any issue with that, being creative on the dime. But so I've scheduled this in my schedule for Wednesdays mornings to actually film this. And I've realized today that's a hell of a lot of pressure. That's a hell of a lot of pressure, because nothing went right this morning. Nothing went right. It would have been really easy if it hadn't been the last minute to just put this off for another day, which sometimes is better. Sometimes it's good to have that pressure to make you just do it. So I don't know. I'm gonna take another sip. So that wasn't the subject that I really wanted to talk about today. I actually wanted to talk about starting your day. How do you start your day? Leave that in the comment. And I'm not talking about your morning routine, which is a part of it, but I'm talking about you open your eyes. What happens next? Is it random? Do you hit your snooze button? Do you hit your snooze button a million times? Do you leap out of bed, put your feet on the floor and get going? Do you get on your phone and look at social media, Facebook, Instagram, or what have you? Do you put on a video? Do you put on the news? Do you just jump in the shower? Do you listen to music? Do you meditate? Do you read the Bible? There's all kinds of routines that people do first thing in the morning. And it really, 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 for me, what I do when my brain turns on is definitely going to have a major effect on my attitude for the rest of the day. And for me, my attitude means that's what my day is going to be. It doesn't really matter that much the outside influences. If my attitude is right, the smallest thing can blow my whole day if my attitude is wrong, and I'm just stomping my feet and throwing a fit. But if my attitude is positive and and I'm a champion and I'm going to conquer this day, then there's very few things that can happen that are challenges that aren't momentary, or a lot of times it's like, hey man, I love a puzzle. This is like a video game. I'm going to take another sip. So how do I start my day? Well, actually, I kind of got to go backwards. How do I end my day? Because ending the day is just as important as beginning the day. The things that you think about, this is not a philism. This is something that I've learned over the years. The things that you think about when you go to sleep is going to influence your dreams. It's going to influence your sleep, and it's going to definitely influence how you wake up in the morning and what kind of mood. If you're watching a scary movie or really intense sci-fi right before you go to bed, then you know that mood, you may not dream about that, but it tends to influence my dreams, but that feeling just stays with you. And when you wake up, you've got that feeling. And then when you got that feeling, then you have a challenge of how do I change my emotions? So now I'm not saying this is what I do all the time. I'm saying, which usually when I tell you things, it's not, hey, this is what I do and it works for me, so you should do it. I'm saying when things work out the best for me, this is what I do. When things work out the worst for me, this is what I do, or this is what I don't do. and that could be day to day to day to day. So I'm not as disciplined as I may sound. I try to be. I strive to be. But anyway, so I have found that if I take some time, and even if I watch a YouTube video of a friend or something positive, or I'm learning something, you know, that's better than sitting and watching some drama and then going right to bed, or having drama, or even leaving work, stopping work and going immediately to bed. But I have found that if I read something from a positive book, or if I read something religious, faith building, or if I just sit and meditate, or I pray, or if I sit there and I laugh with Myrna. We don't get to do that a whole lot because of our schedules, but that's the best way to fall asleep is laying there laughing with Myrna. So then I wake up, and I sometimes hit the snooze, but I actually set my alarm. And why do I set my alarm when I work from home? Because I want to be productive in my day. So I set my alarm usually earlier than I need to get up, in case I need to snooze it. And if I feel rested, if I went to bed at the right time and I got plenty of sleep, then I'll just get up early and hey, bonus. But when I decide to get up, when things work the best for me is I leap from that bed. I get up, and and the very first thing I do, well, not necessarily the first thing I do. Sometimes I have to go to the bathroom, all right? But I've gotten this habit of the very first thing that I do is I get on and I send a positive message on Facebook. I picked that up from a speaker. You know what? I'm going to look it up, and I'll have to edit this out. Okay, I got it. Jonathan Fields. Jonathan Fields is a motivational speaker. He's an entrepreneur. I haven't followed him a long time. He used to have a blog, and he did a TED Talk on overcoming fear. Amazing. But I started following him, and he had this really cool thing, is that in his morning routine, after he sat down with his smoothie and his coffee, he would get on Twitter and he would put out there, "Who can I help today?" And then he would take two people that he could help, as long as it didn't have to do with investing money or advertising. And he would help them. And I thought, you know what? That's an amazing thing. I really like that. And what a great way to start the day. So I put out a positive message on Facebook, and I love that it does. It seems to really help people. People really seem to like that. It seems to give them a little bit of positive in the morning, and that's awesome and a major motivation for me. But really, the reason I do it is because it puts me in the right frame of mind for the rest of the day. Because I may wake up and the problems of the day, the problems that I went to bed with are going to hit me. And rather than be thinking, centered thinking of all the problems and all these things and the minutia and just the reel is just going and going and going and going and going in this endless loop, I break it up with what's important. Who can I help today? It could be a smile, it could be a prayer. But anyway, that's not talking about that much, but it's just a very positive way for me to readjust my thinking and start thinking of others to start off with. And then I take a shower, and I have found I try to get things to encroach in that. I'll put the Idaho Hillbillies on there, and listen to them while I'm taking a shower, or listen to some other YouTube, or I'll put my local news, talk radio on. And I find, or just an audiobook. I used to listen to audiobooks when I had a job. I'd listen to them in the mornings because that was the best time for me to be able to do it. But I have found that the best thing for me is at that moment when I'm forming my thoughts and forming my plans for the day and tweaking my attitude, that me time, alone time, meditative time is the best for me. Now, it may not be for you, but it allows me to get in my own thoughts and figure out, how am I feeling? Is this the way I want to feel? Is this the way I want my day to go? If not, then what can I do to change my thoughts, to change my attitude? And we may talk about that on another Coffee with Phil, but that's my routine that I go through in the mornings. And then I come and I have some coffee, and I'll do my vape. I'll eat some breakfast. I talk to my sister. I talk to my mom. I will listen to Scott the Bearded Picker and Steve Alcorn while I'm stretching. I stretch for 45 minutes to an hour every morning. So I have a routine, and then when I'm done with that routine, then I hit the day. So anyway, routines are important. That wasn't my point. My point was, how do you start your day? What is the intro for your movie for the day? What is your trailer? Anyway, one more sip. So I guess that's all I had on my mind this morning. Okay, my mind is empty. Hey! So anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the down thumb button. That's okay. Give me some criticism, constructive criticism, please. If you did, like I said, hit the like button. Share this with your friends. Comment. Hit the ringy-dingy thing. Next time I make a video, you'll know about it. And as always, no matter what tune life plays you, always find your groove. Thanks for having coffee with me. I'll see you next time.